If this landed on your page, God's telling you to watch it, because even at the ripe age of 25, I'm here to tell you that it is never too late to be what you might have been. Now, it's kind of a lengthy story, but I have amazing news, and I'm going to try to sum it up as quickly as possible. Now, my childhood was very rough. I've been through trauma. I've been through struggling financially, growing up with a single mom of 5 children, and just going through it, honestly, seeing drug addiction, seeing alcohol addiction, seeing all these things, growing up, going through it. And I also had the deepest feeling of loneliness that you could have ever imagined. But I always knew in the back of my mind that I was meant to be successful. I just didn't know how it was going to come about. And I knew, when I became a mother, that I was meant to break the generational chains of poverty, of addiction, of these things that hurt me so bad as a child. I found online business about 4 years ago now, and that's when everything changed for me, because God began to reveal my purpose in this life. He began to reveal to me that I was meant to not only be successful, but I was meant to be in online business and be successful in online business. And he began to reveal to me so many revelations, like that I was meant to bring good news to people who thought that they had to be in poverty because they were a Christian, or that they were meant to suffer for their Christian status, and that they couldn't be a Christian and build wealth at the same time. And that was something that held me back for a very long time, because I was thinking, if I pursue wealth, will I be betraying God? Because the Bible says, right, the love of money is the root of all evil. But then God showed me, that's the thing. I never condemned wealth. I condemned worshiping it. So then God showed me scriptures in the Bible like Deuteronomy 8:18, for it is God who gives you the ability to produce wealth. So I started to recognize that my purpose was in business coaching and teaching people how to be successful in online business as a Christian who has these struggles of thinking making money is unholy or whatever. But God showed me the biggest revelation, the biggest, hugest revelation, which is that when you tie your God-given purpose to your business, God will literally pay you to live out your purpose. There's other scriptures, such as a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. That just means, like, your gift, what God has given you, it will put you in places that money can't. It will put you in places that other people cannot. Your gift will make room for you. Your gift is meant to pay you. And this is not for everybody, but this is for a group of people that always they knew they were meant to be successful. They knew they were meant to build wealth with God and break generational chains of poverty. So then God put me on a mission to help as many Christian entrepreneurs, or aspiring entrepreneurs, aspiring people who love God but also know that they're called to build wealth. And God gave me a system to do that, and I call it the $1 Million Purpose Method. And God gave me that brand. He gave me that kingdom brand, which is the $1 Million Purpose brand. And he showed me that when Christians put this method in place, that God would literally pay them on autopilot. So I was able to make thousands and thousands of dollars even while I'm sleeping by employing this method. And I teach others to do the exact same thing in my flagship programs, okay? And if you're interested in those, you can check the resources in my bio. But here's the method that God showed me. Okay, step 1 was to clarify your calling. So many Christians walk around on this earth and they never ever know truly what they're called to do. So they struggle, they get bored, they waste a lot of time. And I did all of these things. That's how I know. I wasted a lot of time. I binge watched, binge scrolled, constantly doom scrolling and wondering, there has to be more to life than this. I knew that there had to be more to life than just wasting so much time. It was like a plague that I felt, that I wasted way too much time. And God showed me, until you know your God-given purpose, until you know the reason I put you on this earth, and you do that, you will be bored. You will be purposeless. You will be struggle. You will struggle to be successful, because you cannot be successful outside of what God put you on this earth to do. You cannot. And so when God showed me that, I began to pursue him for my purpose. And in the clarify step, God gave me this revelation of the ask, seek, knock method. It's about asking yourself questions, because God put your purpose where you wouldn't be able to miss it, right? He put your purpose inside of you. So when you do go seeking for it, asking for it, knocking for it, you will be able to find it. And this framework, the ask, seek, knock method of finding your purpose, it actually came from Matthew 7:7, where it says, ask and ye shall receive, seek and ye shall find, and knock and the door will be open to you. So God showed me that if you ask yourself questions like this: who am I? Where am I from? Which is like heavenly. You're from the kingdom, right? What am I called to do? Who am I called to serve? When you can find out who you're called to serve and what problem you're meant to solve, it will point you quickly towards your purpose. And then also, how can I use this? How can I solve this problem in a way that earns me money and also gives people radical transformation? Okay, these are just a couple of the questions, and I break it down more in the resources in my bio. Okay, and then the second step to the ask, seek, knock method is seek. Okay, seeking is about seeking God for confirmation. So you're going to get the information from within, and then you're going to seek God for confirmation, because at that point you should already have something in works. You should already know a general gist of what, God is calling you to do. And then you seek God for confirmation. That's getting alone, getting in the Word, fasting if he's called you to do that, or if you feel comfortable doing that, or not comfortable, because it's never comfortable, but if you feel like, yeah, I should be in fasting at this time. Okay, this seeking God, being alone with him, seeking him through his word, seeking him through prayer and fasting, okay? And then getting and listening to receive answers from the Lord, because ultimately you cannot receive your purpose from anybody except God himself. He's the only one who can give it to you, okay? And then knocking. This is the most important part. Knocking is about taking action. You have to take action. If you are like most Christians, you will seek and pray and fast and do all the spiritual things, but when it comes to action, when God says, yes, this is it, build that business, do the thing, then we're hesitant. We say, oh, well, I'm waiting on confirmation from God. I'm waiting until I get in a better place. I'm waiting on this, that, and the other. But that's where most Christians fail, because they wait and they wait and they wait and they wait and they give excuses. And God is saying, I called you to build it now. So that's the knocking part. It's an action. You knock, okay? And then, so we got clarify, build, and then receive. Receiving is about receiving the abundance, but you cannot receive the abundance unless you build the business that God is calling you to. So that's why I created $1 Million Purpose University, because Christian women are able to come in and have the resources that I've already used to build my own online business, create a course around their purpose, whatever it is God is calling them to do. I've seen anxiety. I have a student who teaches other Christians how to get free from depression and anxiety, because she's been through that. So it's about, I've seen hair courses. I've seen, if you're good at hair, if you're good at lashes, if you're good at some kind of skill, or if you have a pain that you can turn into purpose, it can be practically anything God is calling you to do. And then you have the system, which I give you in $1 Million Purpose University. And that's about being able to set up the system that allows you to receive. Okay? So clarify, which is the ask, seek, knock method, build, and then receive. God, it is never too late to be what you could have been. But you start now so that you don't have regrets later down the road. You start now. It's never too late to start now. But you have to start now so you don't regret it. Okay? Implement these frameworks. Because if you don't, you end up being like the wicked and lazy servant. And no Christian wants to hear that at the end of their life. They want to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. Not well thought about, not well prayed, not well fasted. Well done. That's the knock portion. That's the doing of action. Well done, my good and faithful servant. It is never too late, but you have to start now. You must start today. Whatever God is calling you to. And I'd love to help you. I'd love to be your guide to help you get there.